nothing's happening. Yes, it is. Sorry.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Hello. Hi, we're from Holy Trinity Church in Bellevue in Shrewsbury in the west of England, and we'd just like to tell you about something that happened to us through iBethel TV. This was on the 19th of September this year, Sunday evening. I'm the minister at the church, and I decided that we should have a look at the service from Bethel from the previous Sunday evening, that's September the 12th. It was Bill Johnson speaking about Christ in you, the hope of glory, which has been the heart of what God's been doing with us. So a few of us gathered that Sunday evening and watched the service on iBethel TV. We watched Bill's talk, and then at the end of that there were a number of words of knowledge about healing. And while we were listening, something happened. Maggie.
Chris Overstreet was having words of knowledge, and he was saying he felt that there were three women in the congregation who had had trauma to their right arms about 3.5 years previously in the march, and they had a scar to show where the trauma had taken place. And there were people in the congregation who responded, but I felt that that applied to me. It was actually 4 years previously in March that I put my hand through a glass window and severed an artery and a tendon, and have the scar on my wrist. And Chris said that God wanted to heal us from the trauma of that occasion, and I just felt that even though the word of knowledge was coming in America, that it was relevant to me sitting in church in Shrewsbury, and God knew where I was and wanted to release me from trauma, and he's done that and helped me to give testimony and encourage other people to respond and reach out to God for healing, for trauma as well.
That would be wonderful, but that wasn't the end of the story, because the next day, the Monday, someone who hadn't been there that evening, I showed a lady called Josie, I showed her this, the video of what had happened, and she suddenly got very excited and said, I know who that man is, that's Chris Overstreet, he's the outreach pastor at Bethel. But the most amazing thing, she said, he's coming to the next door town in 2 weeks' time to a conference. And now we live right out in the boonies, as you say, right on the west side of England. We don't get a lot of Christian conferences out here, and there's the idea of someone coming from Bethel 2 weeks later, and it was quite amazing. So I rang up the organisers of the conference and said, could you ask Chris when he comes whether it was possible he might come and actually speak to us on the Sunday morning at the end of the conference. Never thinking that he would be able to be, knowing the kind of complicated schedules that you guys have. And but amazingly, when Sam asked him, Chris said he would come, and he came and preached that Sunday. That was October the 3rd this year. It was the most amazing service that we had. At the end of it, Chris gave a very gentle invitation, and the whole congregation came forward to be prayed for by him and 2 other guys that he brought. And that was, but it was just the start of what God's been doing this term. Ever since then, it's as though God has put his foot down hard on the accelerator, and we've seen all sorts of healings, and we've seen a whole new acceptance of the work of God in people's lives in the congregation.
Okay.